Hey, how you doing? Arthur Wu here with a review and quick test of Magic Lantern's 5D Mark III Raw Edition. Now, it's only been a couple of days since this has been released to the public, but some of the results that I've been able to capture were just amazing. I didn't really have a scheduled shoot to really test this out at, so I was just at an event last night and I decided to do some footage and just grade it and just see how it turned out. And let's jump straight into it and just talk about some of the footage. So before we get started here, just wanted to note that we're just taking regular footage shot with the 5D and then taking footage with the raw update and then applying some of the gathering of the information back from the highlights and the shadows. So this first clip here, we have just the Empire State Building off in the distance, and that's just a regular file. And then here we have the information gathered back. You can see here you get a ton of information back, especially in the sky, but you can also save your information in the shadows when you bring that information back from the highlights. Here we just have a backyard with some sun coming through the trees. Now if we look at this other shot, you can see here, brought some of the highlights down, brought up some of the information in the shadows. Everything's a little bit more colored and detailed, so it looks pretty good. You can see here I have some footage of a band playing with a big brick wall in the background. There's not really that much moire in the footage. However, when I went to the raw file and did some sharpening, I did notice you do see some of that moire in there. So we'll have to see if that's due to over sharpening or what's going on there. So, but there's definitely a lot more detail overall in the image. This one is just of some leaves, the regular footage. And here it's just, you know, I took up some of the shadows. Now there's a lot less dark areas. It's kind of a look that I like. There's also a little bit more detail in the leaves. Here's some footage of a corridor, and you can see here when you try to expose for the darker areas, the sky just gets completely obliterated. So with the raw footage, you can see here that you get the sky back along with a lot of information in the shadows. So it's almost sort of like you're taking the footage and making it sort of HDR-ish. Here's some more footage of the brick wall. And then here you see, there's a lot more detail here, a little more colorful, but there is a little bit of that moire. So it might be due to the sharpening that I'm doing on the individual DNG files. And here's a shot walking through the corridor here. Lots of detail in the brick wall. And overall, it looks pretty good, aside from my jittery walking. So, all right, there you go. So there are a lot of things, as you can see, that you can do with the footage, and it's an amazing, amazing achievement. But there are a couple things to think about before you run off and install this on your camera. Basically, the amount of data that it takes up is pretty insane. I mean, a 64 gig card will get you about 8-9 minutes of footage at 19 by 20. So there's something to consider there. You have to be stocked up on your hard drives, definitely, and just to be able to handle all that data. So another thing to consider is the processing of your footage. It took me about 30 minutes to process about 1.5 minutes worth of footage. So just something to think about. Doesn't take anything away from the achievement, but we'll see how this shakes out over the next few weeks when this improves over time. So I do have a shoot coming up this weekend that I'm definitely going to use this for, and we'll see how that goes. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. And for more reviews and tips, visit arthurwu.com and subscribe to this channel. All right, guys, peace.